Hello everyone, I'm Pebbles Gems Evelyn Nueva, and today I am here to talk about the different parts and ports of a motherboard. But first, let me tell you about something about the motherboard. The main printed circuit board in a computer is known as the motherboard. Other names for this central computer unit are system board, main board, or printed wired board or PWB. The motherboard is sometimes shortened to the term MOBO. Numerous major components crucial for the functioning of the computer are attached to the motherboard. These include the processor, memory, and expansion slots. The motherboard connects directly or indirectly to every part of the PC. The type of motherboard installed in a PC has a great effect on a computer system, speed, and expansion capabilities. This is a picture of a motherboard. We will discuss is a processor. A central processing unit, or what we call the CPU, is the electronic circuitry within a computer that carries out the instructions of a computer program by performing the basic arithmetic, logical, control, and input-output or I/O operations specified by the instructions. So the processor is the one who gives command in a computer. Second is the North Bridge. North Bridge is an Intel chipset that communicates with the computer processor and controls interactions with memory. The Peripheral Component Interconnect, or PCI bus, Level 2 cache, and all accelerated graphics port, or what we call AGP activities. North Bridge communicates with the processor using the frontside bus, or FSB. Third is the South Bridge. It is one of the two chips in the core logic chipset on a personal computer or PC motherboard, the other being the North Bridge. The South Bridge is typically implements the slower capabilities of the motherboard in a North Bridge or South Bridge chipset computer architecture. So remember, there are two bridges, the North and the South Bridge. Next is a peripheral component interconnect, or what we call the PCI slot, is a connecting apparatus for 32-bit computer bus. These tools are built into the motherboards of computers and devices in order to allow for the addition of PCI devices like modems, network hardware, or sound and video cards. Okay, next is AGP slot. AGP stands for Accelerated Graphics Port, an earlier hardware interface from the Intel for connecting the graphics card display adapter to a PC. Introduced in 1997 and superseded by PCI Express in the late 2000s. A single AGP slot on the motherboard provided a direct connection between the card and the memory. BIOS stands for Basic Input Output System. BIOS is a read-only memory, which consists of low-level software that controls the system hardware and acts as an interface between the operating system and the hardware. Most people know the term BIOS by another name, device drivers or just drivers. BIOS is essentially the link between the computer hardware and software in a system. Next is IDE. It is an acronym for Integrated Device Electronics. It is a standard type of connection for storage devices in a computer. Generally, IDE it refers to the types of cables and ports used to connect some hard drives and optical drives to each other and to the motherboard. Next is SATA. SATA stands for Serial Advanced Technology Attachment or Serial ATA. And IDE is also called Parallel ATA or PATA. SATA is the newer standard and SATA drives are faster than PATA or IDE or IDE drives. So don't be confused. IDE drives, like we have discussed the last time, IDE is also called as PATA. So PATA stands for Parallel Advanced Technology Attachment. Then, or the SATA is Serial Advanced Technology Attachment. So don't be confused between the two. Next is a memory slot. Memory socket or RAM slot is what allows computer memory or RAM to be inserted into the computer. Depending on the motherboard, there may be two to four memory slots, sometimes more on high-end and more high-end motherboards, and are what determine the type of RAM used with the computer. Lastly is a power supply. Power supply is an electrical device that supplies electric power to an electrical load. The primary function of a power supply is to convert electric current from a source to the correct voltage, current, and frequency to power the load. As a result, power supplies are sometimes referred to as electric power converters. Thank you. I hope that you like the video for today. Leave comment below and thumbs up. And if anyone would like to know to copy the meaning for the for their assignments, so the definition of the parts of the motherboard is in the description box. Bye.